back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
The UFC's current light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier revealed that his longtime teammate and training partner Cain Velasquez over at AKA is back to training and he's ready to gear up for a long run after 5 years, losing 5 years to injury. The last time we saw Cain Velasquez, I believe, was at UFC 200 versus Travis Brown, but right after that fight, he was re-injured, so it was like, oh shit, we thought we had him back and now he's gone. And I think it's been almost a year since then. Actually, it has, because yeah, it's been over a year since then, because UFC 205 was over a year ago when Conor fought Eddie. So with that being said, fucking Cain Velasquez is coming back. I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up. It sounds great. I would love to have Cain back. 100% the heavyweight division in the UFC needs it. I mean, the heavyweight division around the world needs it. Yo, that's why it's time for these NFL players. We've seen some of these college football players, Eric Anders, what was it, Trevin Giles, I believe. We've seen Greg Hardy's on the way. It's time for some of these big dudes to come on over and start training MMA, bro. We need some heavyweight heat. I'm telling you, man. That's another spiel for another day. But we need a splash in the heavyweight division. So it would be great to see the former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez back. Man, I would love it, but I can't get hyped. It's like telling me Conor McGregor versus Tony Ferguson is happening in April. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like telling me that GSP's gonna defend versus Robert Whittaker. I'll believe it when I fucking see it. So I do love that, and there's been more signs. I think Cain Velasquez has taken to social media and hinted at coming back. But what could this mean? I mean, if he does come back, which Daniel Cormier is saying he's on the way back, so I believe it. I do think Cain Velasquez will be back probably in the next 6 months. But who do you guys want to see him fight first? I know, being Cain Velasquez, he probably deserves an immediate title shot. Some people would, of course, disagree. He's been out for a long time, injuries. But I mean, people would say, yeah, but he's the former heavyweight champion. He's been dealing with injuries. His last performance, he looked great versus Travis Brown. Give the dude a title shot. And who's the other contenders? Fabricio Verdum and Alistair Overeem. Which is all how the Alistair Overeem fight went. But if you're gonna tell me, because we've got the heavyweight champions fighting at UFC 220, interestingly enough, alongside Daniel Cormier. Can we talk about that for a second? How fucking dope is that? The light heavyweight and heavyweight belt at UFC 220, Stipe and Daniel Cormier fighting Francis Ngannou and motherfreaking Volkan Ozdemir. Yo, just the two baddest men on the planet as far as the two biggest weight classes in the UFC champions competing on the same card. That's got to be literally the biggest card of the year. I'm talking literal, not pay-per-views. Fucking big dudes. But with that being said, Cain Velasquez, what's next for him if he comes back? Because let's say Stipe Miocic defends successfully versus Francis Ngannou. Well then, yeah, I think Cain Velasquez gets the next title shot. Do you want to see Stipe versus Fabricio 2 or Stipe versus Cain? People are probably going to take Stipe versus Cain, even though Fabricio has looked great versus Walt Harris and Marcin Tybura. People are probably just ready to see Cain back at the title fight. And it's going to be refreshing for the heavyweight division. So he probably would get the title fight, but would you guys like to see him maybe get a tune-up fight to make sure he's healed up? I mean, we saw that with Travis Brown. He looked fine coming back then. So me personally, I'd be fine with Cain Velasquez getting a title shot coming straight off injury. But does that change if Francis Ngannou beats Stipe Miocic? If Francis Ngannou wins, does Stipe get a rematch? Do we see fucking Francis versus Fabricio? Do we see Francis versus Cain? Who knows? I mean, it's just good to hear that Cain Velasquez should be back sooner rather than later, and he is coming back rather than, you know, I mean, really, with how long he's been out, there was no guarantee he was 100% coming back. So it's good to see that he is coming back, and then it will be sooner rather than later. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you talking about in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.